I'm Tom Laskowski with Midwest Native Skills, and this is our every other Thursday live broadcast. Today we're going to be talking about ancient or traditional herbal remedies. With all this going on now, with the COVID and it's naturally cold and flu season, I thought it would be appropriate to go back and explore some of the older remedies that people have been using for years and years that kind of boost our immune system and that we can make at home. So I came up with, or looked through my books and came up with three very traditional old remedies that we're going to be going through. The first is Elderberry Syrup. It's a mainstay of all the old cabins and all the old timers. The second is called Master Tonic, or a lot of people call it Fire Cider. It's a daily tonic that people take every morning, and it's just builds your constitution, and we'll go over all the benefits it has. And the last is an immune system boosting tea. Now, Wendy was kind enough to make sure I mentioned that we are not proposing that these are any cures or remedies, because I guess the AMA and all the medical people get quite upset when you say that something is a cure or for something. So just to cover ourselves, we're going over remedies that have been used in the past. And I will say that we use them, and I know most of my friends use some of these remedies. If you're out there, drop me a line. I'd like to know who's watching, and I'd like to have a dialogue. If you have any remedies, or if I'm going over something that I might not be clear about, because this kitchen is not my element. I'm pretty comfortable in the woods. Kitchen's not my domain, but we'll give it a try anyway. Okay. So, if somebody wants to write in or call in, let me know who's out there with any questions or anything. That'd be great. If not, I'll get right into this. First thing we're going to be doing, elderberry syrup. This is what it's going to end up looking like when it's done. The way you take it, don't pour too much. And every morning, take a teaspoonful. Now, this is just a precautionary thing. If I feel a cold or flu coming on, I take 3 to 5 teaspoons a day of the elderberry syrup. Now, you're asking, okay, well, what does this stuff do for you? Oh, by the way, if you want these recipes, Wendy is going to be putting links on my Facebook page. Now, these links, they're actually on our website page, but only you can get to them. You can share them with your friends and all, but because you're watching this live broadcast, we're kind of making them exclusive just for you guys out there. So share them with your friends, share them with your family, but if you try to get to them any other way, you're going to need these links that Wendy's putting up.
Megan has joined us.
Megan, welcome.
And Wendy appears to be addicted to elderberry syrup.
Okay, it does have honey in it. It doesn't taste quite as sweet as you think it would, but we'll go over this. Welcome, Megan. Okay, some of the things, and you're going to read this when you download this, the recipe, but it's boost your immune system, fights against bacterial infection and viral infections. So we have this COVID-19 kind of covered on this. Reduces the symptoms and duration of colds and flu. Helps clear sinuses, sinus infections. And this time of year, we all know that's an issue for some of us. Anti-inflammatory properties. So again, it has anti-carcinogenic properties. Hopefully we don't have any of those, but it's always good to be aware of that. Eases symptoms of allergies, high in antioxidants, and high in vitamin A, which makes it great for healthy skin. Healthy skin this time of year is tough because everything's so dry. We want to keep our skin hydrated. Now, along with taking these, we all know to be healthy, you should be be drinking a gallon of water a day, getting a lot of sleep and all that. So this is going to be augmenting the things that we already know how to do. So, okay, how do you make this stuff? Pretty simple. You take, let me see here, hot. You need elderberries. These are elderberries that I collected earlier this year and dried. If you didn't dry your elderberries, again, Wendy's going to put up a list of places where you can get dried elderberries. The price of them, they're going to go per pound anywhere from maybe $20 to $30 for a pound. A pound's a lot. It's going to make you a whole lot of syrup, so you can give it away for as Christmas presents and all. But this is what the elderberries are going to look like when they're dried. I don't know if you can see this or not. Hold on. But they're pretty small when they're dried.
Hold on.
See them?
Yeah, they are small. Okay.
Okay. So, okay. Basically, I'm following the recipe. 3/4 of a cup. Now, this is a 1 cup measure, so I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup. Again, the recipe is good rules of thumb. Once you make it according to the recipe, if you like more of an elderberry taste, you can jack that up to maybe 1 cup. 3 cups of water. Now, I would use filtered water. Here we have a filter on our tap water.
Did you dry your berries, honey, in the sun or in the oven?
I use the dehydrator. We have a Harvest-made dehydrator, and with that, I recommend using. They have a plastic flat tray that you can make fruit roll-ups. I use it. I take applesauce on there, and I spread the applesauce and dehydrate that. It's great for going on a trip, but I use that because the elderberries, you saw, they're going to when they dehydrate, they get really tiny, and it only took about 12 hours, maybe a little longer. They dehydrate them. What I also do, which is I like to do things overkill, when I put them in a jar like this, we also have a vacuum sealer. So if I'm dehydrating these in June, our Food Saver has a fitting that goes over this, and you can suck all the air out of this. So I not only dehydrate them, I vacuum seal them right in these mason jars. And of course, as I always say, label them what they are. And what I didn't do with this, which I should have put the date.
Anisia would like to know if you can make it with the elderberries that haven't been dried.
Yes, you can. If you're doing that, you're going to use twice as much of the elderberries. Just like when we're doing plants, whenever you're using a fresh plant, use twice as much as the dried plant. Same thing goes here. So if you want to make this syrup in June, when you have fresh elderberries, same thing, same recipe. Substitute the dried elderberries for fresh, use twice as much. Okay, so we have the elderberries, we have the water in there. Pretty simple. It says dried cinnamon. I like using cinnamon sticks. Get a whole cinnamon stick. Drop it in there. Okay, ginger. Recipe says fresh ginger or 1 teaspoon of dry ginger. I like to use fresh always, but you can take your ginger and take a knife and slice it. I love gadgets. Anybody that knows me knows I love gadgets. We have this mandolin here, and you have to be careful with it because it can't take the tip of the finger off, but it makes slices nice and neat. So I have my piece of ginger here, and what you do is you just take this, go up and down like this, and it says 1 teaspoon of dried ginger. You can see as I'm going up and down, all the slices are coming down pretty uniform. Here's how I'm doing this. And I'm just estimating that that's about, well, that's probably more than a teaspoonful. But it's close enough. And that's it. The other thing we're going to be using is honey, but that's after we put it on the stove. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it on the stove. Okay, we're going to bring this up to a boil. Once it's boiling, we're going to knock it down to a simmer. Let it simmer for about 45 minutes. We want this to reduce to about half. And I'm going to get to do something now which I always wanted to do on TV. You know how they pull stuff out? Okay, so we're going to do this, this. Voila, 45 minutes have gone, and we have this here.
Hold that thought. I'm going to need you to come a little closer to me.
You see this did reduce.
It's very dark.
The dark syrup.
Alrighty.
They get the idea. So now what we do, pretty simple. I have a cup, strainer. Try to do this backhanded. I'll try to do it the right way so I don't spill this no more. I had this on a little bit longer than I should have on the heat, so it reduced a little more than probably I wanted it to. But the only thing that's going to do is make my syrup a little thicker, which is fine. Remember, I'm still going to be adding honey to this, so this is a really concentrated form of the elderberry syrup. Now what I do, and they say you have to really press this down. Try not to get this on your countertop. This elderberry will stain.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're going to keep pressing this. There's a lot still left in here. And again, I don't want to take too much time. I'm just watching you press this down.
Adam doesn't mind watching.
Did anyone out there ever make elderberry syrup on their own, or make it a different way?
Adam wants to know if you're moving to the cooking channel.
Adam, if I did, nobody would watch me after the first 2 episodes. Adam, you had my cooking. You should know better than to ask that question.
Frankie and Connie are watching you also.
Hey, Connie. Frank.
Wendy says you do okay with hot dogs.
That's about all. Okay, I could press this more, but like I said, I don't want to take a lot of time. And now we have this. It's not real thick syrup, but it's a little thicker. It reduced down from 3 cups to this. Now we would add our 1 cup of...
Set that on the counter for a second.
Okay.
So that measuring cup that Tom is using holds 4 cups. So you can see how much it's been reduced. He started out with 3.
I can tell you exactly. It's exactly 1 cup. So I reduced it by 1/3. The taste of the elderberry is not particularly great. It tastes like medicine. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm being honest.
Adam's willing to make a cameo on your cooking channel.
Honey, 1 cup. Again, try to get honey from a local beekeeper. If you're getting it from the store, a supermarket, and it's probably coming in from South America or China. It's got all kind of stuff that we don't even want to talk about. So this isn't only to support your local beekeeper, it's to keep you healthy. Okay, we're adding 1 cup of honey to this. And we're going to mix it up. The honey will melt in there. And that's our elderberry syrup.
So is it best to do this then when the syrup is still warm?
Yes, it'll dissolve the honey a little better, but this honey is almost all dissolved already. And again,
Megan would like to know if you still have honey for sale. And Rob has joined us.
Who?
Rob Dodson.
Oh, Rob. Welcome, Rob. Megan, yes, I do. I'm running low. If you want some honey, just email me, Tom at Survival School, and I can put some aside, but we're running kind of low. So, and honey lasts forever, so. Okay, that's our elderberry syrup. Again, the link is on the Facebook page. Put it in a nice container like this, or what I was really looking for is a container like this. Now, we have olive oil in this, but this would be a nice container with a nice pouring spout on it. You could just fill this up with that. But again, a teaspoon a day. If you were getting sick, you can jack that up to a tablespoon a day. If you were starting to get sick, if you were actually sick, I would do 3 to 5 tablespoons a day. So that's the elderberry. Okay, let's get this on the side. Any questions on the elderberry syrup? I take it no one out there has made any of it.
I don't know. Wendy seems to be consuming a lot of it.
Wendy, are you buying it or making it?
Wendy wants to know if it has to be refrigerated.
It should be, yes. It'll last for about 2 months. Now, again, I said it should be, and you see mine is out here. That's because for 2 or 3 weeks, it can stay on the counter. It's not going to go bad. The honey is going to prevent it from going bad for a month. So we're going to be going through that. The bulk of it, the stuff I just made today, that'll go in the refrigerator. So, okay, that's the syrup. Now, going to the fire cider. This is really simple to make. So,
Connie says that everyone knows you can't cook.
shh. Connie said that?
Mm-hmm.
Her sister-in-law's for anyway. Anyways, okay, this is how easy this is. You need a jar. Half gallon. Get out of here. What this fire cider does, again, you're going to take about an ounce of it every morning. Here's the jar or the container I put it in. And here's what it looks like when you pour it out.
You are really taking a lot of grief for your cooking tonight in the comments.
I know I am.
Adam says this is why you have TAs. And Megan assures me you make good ramen noodles.
I like Megan. But she didn't take the class yet. That'll be June. Let's see in mid-June if you say the same thing. This is what the fire cider looks like. Relatively harmless. Oh.
Frankie says what you really need is shine and some rock candy.
Speaking of moonshine, our I mentioned that our coupon is going to be concluding on December 5th. That's when Prohibition was lifted in 1933. It started January 17th, 1920, and it was lifted on December 5th, 1933. Just little pieces of trivia. Okay, going back to this. Let's focus here. You have your jar. You're taking about an ounce of this. You can add it to something like tomato juice because it's going to be heavy in vinegar because one of the main constituents is this apple cider vinegar. If you're buying apple cider vinegar, the kind you really want to buy is this Bragg's. It has the mother culture in it, and that's going to be sitting on the bottom. And so you can just shake it up. You can see the sediment on the bottom here. That's the mother culture. That's what you want. So before you use it, you need to shake it up real good and get that all moving up in there. But you want Bragg's. It's one of, there's probably others with a mother culture, but this is the main one you probably want. Okay. Oh, where did my glasses go? Okay, all you do is you take all the ingredients, you either chop them up, grate them up, whatever, put them in this jar. Then, once they're all in the jar, you take the apple cider vinegar, pour them over the ingredients till you cover them by about 3 to 4 inches. Once they're covered, you take the cover, you put it on, and you leave this set for about a month. You can leave it set longer, for 3, 4, 5 months, as long as you shake it every day. After the month or 2 months or 3 months, all you're doing is making it stronger. You pour off the liquid, and that's going to be your fire cider. And that's the fire cider, the liquid, is what's going to be boosting your immune system. Again, let's go over the ingredients to kind of give you a little better feel. Horseradish. If you've never seen this, most stores have the horseradish root. You can take the outer skin off. There's really no reason to, since it's just going to be soaking in here. I like it grated. All you do is you take a grater like this and take it on the coarse end, grate it down, and take the grates, put it in here. So you want about a half a cup of grated horseradish root. So that's what this is going to look like. 1 medium chopped onion. Didn't pull one out, but everybody knows an onion. Again, finer is better. The finer it's going to be, the more surface area is going to be exposed to the apple cider vinegar, the more good stuff you're getting out of the onion. So you're going to take a half a cup of chopped onion, garlic. You're going to take about 10 cloves of garlic. You're going to chop it, smash it, put it in here. A quarter teaspoon of cayenne powder. Cayenne, here we go. Your cayenne red pepper powder. I like my stuff a little hotter. The purpose of this is to get your immune system, to get your system going. Hotter is better. So this recipe is for the average person. If you like hot stuff, I'd go a little heavier on the cayenne pepper. I'd even go a half a teaspoon or even a tablespoon if you are a little crazy. Again, quarter cup of raw honey, 2 of the jalapeno peppers. Again, you want to slice these as small as you can. Put them in here. You're just putting all this in here.
Are you seeding them or anything? You're putting the seeds and everything?
Everything in there.
Okay.
You want this thing hot. Spicy hot. Turmeric root. It calls for a turmeric root. You might have trouble getting that. Occasionally, our grocery stores around Cleveland has turmeric root. It's kind of a weird looking root. I'm sure you can order it online if you want to use turmeric root. if you want to forego all that, you can,
It's the little short container.
little short container.
Down on-
Here. You can get ground turmeric. And here's what it looks like. Turmeric, by the way, is real good for joint problems like arthritis, rheumatism, all that. So if you don't want to get the turmeric root, you take 1 tablespoon of the chopped turmeric root. You can take 1 tablespoon of the powder. So you can substitute it if you want to do that.
Megan said Heinen's normally has it here in Cleveland.
Oh, does it? Okay. Heinen's usually has the stuff. They're a little bit on the pricier side, but they have what you want. Thank you, Megan. 2 tablespoons dried rosemary leaves, the zest of 1 lemon. Probably everybody knows about the zest of a lemon. For those of you that don't, where is your zester, Cheryl?
In the drawer?
In your drawer?
To the right?
Cheryl guards this with her life. I never knew what this was, so that's why you're all probably knowing, everybody knows this, but this is a lemon zester. What you do is you just take a lemon and you go back and you just get the yellow part off. And that's because the white part of a lemon is bitter. So you just do this and the lemon part gets caught up in here, and that's what you want to put in your jar here. So that's zesting a lemon. 1/4 cup of dried echinacea, and then 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. I put 2 or 3 cinnamon sticks in there. I like to do the cinnamon sticks. Once this is all in here, again, you're going to use more than just one of these quarts of Bragg's juice, but you put this in here to cover all the ingredients, and then put it under your sink wherever. The important thing is you have to shake it every day. How long? Anywhere from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. Just make sure you shake it every day. Another thing about doing this that people don't realize, we all like to have control of our lives. You do, your kids do, and with all this going on with COVID, you know, we're wearing masks and we're doing as much as we can. But if we can do another step by actually making something like this and then taking it every morning, we have a little more control. And psychologically, it's going to give us a little more control, a little more comfort in our lives. So besides the medicinal values, this does have some psychological benefits. So that's your fire cider. Again, you leave it sit. Now, you can leave it sit for 30 days and then pour the liquid off, and the liquid will taste like this. It's
So you strain it.
You strain it.
Okay.
You're going to taste this, you go, oh my God, because it's going to taste like apple cider vinegar. Hot apple cider vinegar. After you take it for a week or 2, you actually begin to like the taste. It's kind of one of those weird things where, you know, like those raccoons on that commercial. Oh, this tastes terrible. You got to taste it. It's kind of one of those things. But, so that's the fire cider. Boost your immune system. The elderberry syrup, boost the immune system. And the last thing we're going to go into is this tea. So let me just clear up. By the way, we're still looking for people to write in on things that you would like us to cover in the near future. If it would be... I know I did mention that there's things like colloidal silver. If people are interested in that, or interested in me showing them how to make a colloidal silver generator, we could do that at one of these live streamings. Any other topics? I'd be happy to cover it.
Megan would like to know if you can dilute the fire cider and drink it.
Yes, you can. And it doesn't matter how much. Just so you saw how much I drank here. That would be enough for a day. So you could dilute this in 8 ounces of, say, V8 juice or tomato juice in the morning. you'd still be getting this amount. You're just not going to be getting that slant. You can dilute it with water. Apple cider also is supposed to be real good for losing weight. Not that you need to lose weight. And again, I never met you, but they say it's good for diets and it's good for a lot of other things too. So yes, you can dilute it. I actually kind of like the way it tastes. But okay, last one is this tea, kind of a little different. It's most teas you're thinking, okay, you just put dry ingredients in a tea bag, let it steep, drink the tea. This is a little different.
Adam wants to know if there's any side effects.
To the Master Tonic, I'm assuming, none that I know of.
Okay.
None that I know of. Okay, the procedure here, pretty simple. You add the things to the water.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
So you could add honey. Anisha wants to know, you could add honey to the fire cider?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. You can always add honey to whatever, and it'll make it taste a little better. Oh, by the way, whenever you're adding honey, this is just a beekeeper type thing. You never want to heat honey above about 160 degrees. You probably know that honey in the wintertime could crystallize. It'll get solid. Doesn't mean the honey's bad. It's just something that honey does. The sugar just solidifies. To get it back to honey, you put it in a pot of water. Heat that water up to about 140 to about 150 degrees. Let the honey sit. That honey will turn back to liquid honey. You don't want to go above 160 degrees because that's the point where you're starting to destroy some of the good enzymes, some of the good bacteria, some of the good stuff in the honey. So, and you never want to put honey in the microwave and zap it to try to get it to uncrystallize. If you're adding it, like we were adding honey to the elderberry syrup, you wouldn't want to have that elderberry syrup higher than 160 if you were going to add the honey. You let it cool down to, say, 150, add your honey, it'll dissolve just great, and you're not hurting the honey then. Okay, what we're doing, we're going to add the stuff to this. We're going to cook it, we're going to heat it up to a simmer, cook it for 7 minutes. We're going to make sure it doesn't boil because boiling it is going to hurt the turmeric we're going to put in. After that, we're going to put in the lemon juice we're going to squeeze in, the coconut oil, and then we're going to strain it into a teacup. So this is a little different. So first of all, what we're going to do, 5 cups of water. This is the type of tea you would make a quantity of it and keep it, maybe make it on a set. And of course these recipes can be doubled, tripled if you want. Okay, now we're going to do 2 things to this lemon. We're going to need the juice of the lemon, and we're going to need the peel of the lemon. So to make that happen, we're going to first juice the lemon.
No, you're not.
No? Yeah.
No.
No, I'm wrong. We're first going to take the peel off.
Mm-hmm.
And the peeler, Cheryl, is here. I told you the kitchen's not my place. Okay, take the peel off. I know you're laughing at him. Now everybody knows why I have teaching assistants at my classes to do stuff like peeling the potatoes.
Uh-huh.
Again, I'm trying not to get too much of the white in.
Yeah, Wendy, as soon as he gets some of this done, we'll send it to you.
Yeah. Did you know by eating the white part of a lemon, it's supposed to settle your stomach after a meal? So if you have lemon in your water and you're eating at a restaurant, you should just go ahead and chow down on the white part of the lemon just to make sure. Okay, you guys got the idea. Okay. Now I have this. I'm going to save this for a little later. Now I cut it and juice it.
For those of you at home, do this on a cutting board.
Wendy's probably laughing. Frankie's going, I don't see anything wrong. That's the way I do it.
Exactly, Adam.
What did Adam say? Adam.
Yeah, I'd like to see all the TAs show up right after this because Tom has now trashed the kitchen. He's going to need some help.
Okay, we got our lemon. Okay, so we peeled it. Now we have our ginger. We need slices of our ginger again. A 2-inch piece of ginger. We use a mandolin again. That's about what I had left here.
Frankie says you need help.
I'm not the one that abandoned me in Cleveland and went down to Carolina, Frank. Okay. Okay, so that goes in the pot. We have our ginger, turmeric root, or the powder. We'll use powder. And again, I'm just basically following the recipe. A pinch of cayenne.
That's not a pinch.
Close enough. And this is, I just learned today, a crack of black pepper. I didn't know what that was, but you get one of these. A crack is, that's a crack. And then I take all this onto the stove. Bring this to a boil or to a simmer just under a boil, and I'll keep it there for 7 minutes. I won't bore you. Let's just pretend the 7 minutes are up. We take it off. We're going to add our lemon juice to it. I'm going to actually do this after we go off the air, so I'd add the lemon juice to it, and then 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. That goes in here. Strain it, and Cheryl and I will be having this immune system boosting tea. So again, the recipe's on the Facebook page, and those are the 3 immune boosting supplements that we thought we'd share with you. My favorite is the Fire Cider or the Master Tonic. They go by both names, so you'll hear it go by both names. The Elderberry is an old mainstay, and the tea, it's just a pretty good tea. So that's all I have for today. Love to hear any topics. If you're interested in that colloidal silver, let me know. If you're interested in another topic, something with the winter, something survival, love to cover it. Anything else, Cheryl?
Frankie wants my stove.
Oh, the stove? Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you 2 weeks from now on December 17th. And not sure of the topic, but check the Facebook page and we'll come up with one. Thank you.